multiply everything by x. Either way, I mean, it's the same, and it results in the same thing. You're on side number one. And if we times everything by x, we'll have x squared minus 14 equals 5x. Now make sure you can get to that. Now what?
Subtract the 5x over.
Bring the 5x over, and when I bring it over, I'm going to stick it right in here. So I'm going to have x squared minus 5x minus 14, so that it is kind of in the right order. And then what? I'm not going to do this for you ever again. You have to go through this on your own. You're going to factor this guy. And how is he going to factor?
Negative 7 plus.
X minus 7, x plus 2. And some of you are super good at it, as you all should be. That's wonderful. 14 is 7 times 2. Negative 7, positive 2. That's how you get it. So what are my answers? X equals 7 or x equals negative 2. Right? Okay. Now, number 2 is kind of what you just did, only it's a little bit bigger problem. And all you're doing is finding the okay? So what does that mean we have to do? If we're going to find a whole, that means we are going to have to factor and cancel something out. All right, so look at the top carefully. What do you notice about the top? You can take out an x, and that'll leave me with 2x squared minus x minus 12. Stick just with the top for a minute, because I gotta factor this more. That 2 will not come out, so it's gonna become part of the factoring. Now I gotta think of things that multiply to 12. 4 and 3 would be an option. So trig says minus 4 plus 3. I don't think that works. I'm trying to figure out if anything works. I might have a bad problem here. Six and 4 and 3 is not going to work. 6 and 2 isn't going to work. I got to rewrite my problem. I'm sorry, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. I think there was supposed to be 2 right here. I'm sorry. Erase everything. Just start over again. I think there's supposed to be a 2 right there. So now on top I can take out a 2x. Let's see if this works better. So if I take out a 2x, I'm left with x squared minus x minus 6. So I took a 2x out of everything. Alright, sorry about that mistake. Are you with me now? I took a 2x out. And then this will factor into 3 and 2 minus 3 plus 2. Oh my gosh, this problem is a disaster. the bottom too. So we're gonna change that 80 to a 20. I don't know what I was doing. Like this. Hopefully the other side's better. Change that 80 to a 20. And then what can I do at the bottom? Yeah, so this is my top. I'm gonna leave it there. My bottom, I'm gonna take out a 5 and I'll have x squared minus 4. And x squared minus 4 will factor into plus 2 minus 2. And then I can see a cancellation. And I'll be left with this. Okay, now that I got my problem straightened out, everybody okay with that? So where's the hole? That's the question. The hole is a point. Where is it? X is negative 2 because that's what canceled out, right? And then how do I find, plug it in. So 2 times negative 2 negative 4. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So I put in negative 2 here and here and here. Negative 2's in all over. Well, at least that part worked out nice. This works out to be just negative 1. Okay. All right, let's turn it over. One goes back, right? Let's see. All right, solve, oh wait, on the other side, yeah, it says solve. What are you gonna do here? Multiply by x, so we'll have x squared minus 10x equals 24. And then what? Move the 24, and it's okay, right there on the end. And then I believe this one factors, how is that gonna factor?
Negative 12 plus.
Minus 12 plus 2, because 12 times 2 is 24, and 12 minus 2 is 10, so that's a good combination. So what are my answers? X equals 12 or x equals
negative 2.
done. All right, hold your breath. Let's see. I need to find a hole. So I'm gonna have to factor all this, and hopefully it factors and something cancels. Oh. What about that numerator? That is quite big.
Can you split it?
I'm gonna have to factor by grouping. We know how to do this. We're gonna factor by grouping. So if I look at the first two, what can I take out? X plus, leaving me with x plus 3. What about the last two? Negative 24 the next step. X plus 3, and then x squared minus 25. Now notice when I wrote that down, that's not squared, that's just x plus 3. And then what about x squared minus 25? Plus 5 minus 5? So this is my numerator. All that was just the numerator. Now I still have to do the denominator. Look at your denominator. What do you notice about it? Anything? Take out a 3. Good job. Always look for that GCF. So took out a 3. Now left me with 4 and 5. Okay. And does that factor? Plus 5 minus 1. Because that makes negative 5 and it adds up to positive 4. So that's my denominator. This is my numerator. So I did my numerator first, factor by grouping, just did my denominator. Now I put it all together. And what do I notice? These are going to cancel. And leave me with, yeah, so the whole's going to be, leave me with this. This is what I have left. But the whole is going to be where x is negative 5. So I'm going to put negative 5s in here. Negative 5 plus 3. Negative 5 minus 5. Negative 5 minus 1. That one didn't work out so nice. What is that? I got negative 10 nines. Anybody else get that when I reduce the fraction? You're not graphing that one, you're just figuring out where the hole is. We're gonna keep factoring until we figure it out. All right? Alright, put that aside. That's the excitement, fun and excitement for Wednesday. Now get your notes out. Let's see what is next. Looks like we have some number line work to do. Because we talked about a long time ago that when we see an inequality symbol, we know we are eventually going to need a number line. And in this case, since the problem is already factored, I'm going straight to the number line. I'm going to have two open dots on my number line. And where are those two dots going to be? Negative 2 and positive 3. And then I shade. Anybody remember anything about the shading? It's inside, it's inside. Less than is inside, when it's less than 0, it's inside. Remember, unless we have some funky problem, which we will run into, here on the next page, unless we have some funky problem, we are going to either shape, there's 2 dots, which there are, 2 X's, 2 dots. We're gonna shape either in between or outside. And when it's a less than problem, it's always going to be in between. So the answer to the problem is just -2 to 3. And why am I using parentheses? Because these dots are open. And why are they open? Because that does not have or equal to. Right? Done. That was easy enough. Oh no, we didn't even wait for the next page. Now we've got trickiness here. Look at this one. Would you agree it has 2 dots and they're in exactly the same spot? -2 and 3? But what is crazy about this problem? It's got a square. And as soon as you put a square in there, the rules change. Remember how when we were graphing them, the square made a difference in the picture? Balance? Well, it's gonna make a difference here. Alright? So, in order to shade, to know where to shade here, you are going to have to check a number in each spot. Now here's what I mean. A number over here would be like, for example, -3. If I put -3 into this parentheses, it would be negative. I don't even care what number it is, I don't even need to do the math. I just know that -3 plus 2 is gonna be negative. And -3 minus 3 is negative, but it's getting squared, so that's positive. And when I multiply a negative times a positive, I'm less than 0, so this time that gets shaded. Because when I put in a number like -3, I got a negative answer. If you are more comfortable working out the answer, go ahead. You don't need to. You just need to know it's negative. Alright, let's put in 0. 0 is in here. 0 gives me a positive and a positive. Now, be careful. 0 minus 3 is negative, but remember that's getting squared. So that's going to be positive. Is a positive times a positive less than 0? Nope, don't shade it. Doesn't work. Alright, let's put in 4. 4 plus 2 is a positive. It's 6. You can use 6 if you want it positive. 4 minus 3 is 1. Squared is still positive. Do I shade there? Kids, positive times positive, is that less than 0? No, that doesn't get shaded either. So the answer to this problem is this, negative infinity to -2. There are no shortcuts. As soon as you put a square in this problem, you're going to have to check, and see which ones work. There's no pattern. They might alternate, they might not. Here's the never know. Just have to do it. So when can I use Cadence shortcut? When I don't have any. Look at the next problem. It has squares all over the place. The dots are in the same place, but because of the squares, I'm going to have to check some numbers. You can pick whatever numbers you want over here. Anything less than -2 you can pick. So, I'll just do -3. -3 plus 2 is a negative number. -3 minus 3 is negative, but I'm squaring it so it is also positive. Is that gonna get shaded? No, because I am looking for answers that are less than 0. And positive times positive, these are multiplied, factors, multiplied. Positive times positive does not give me less than 0. All right, let's try 0. Again, any number in here will work. So if you'd rather use 2 or 1, it's fine. Any number in here will work. So 0 plus 2 squared is positive. Again, it's up to you. You can work out the number if you want. But all I really care about is positive. 0 minus 3 is negative, but when I square it, it becomes positive. So am I shading that? Nope. All right, let's try 4. 4 plus 2 squared, positive 36. 4 minus 3 squared is 1. Oh my gosh, did that work? What's the answer to this question? No solution. There's no solution here. Because nothing is going to yield a negative result. So I know this is tedious, but when you have squares, you have to do that. Now let's look at the next problem, number 4. What is this one then? How does this one factor? Plus 4 minus 1. So I've got a -4 and a +1 and no squares. That's good news. What's Caden's little trick? This is a less than, and less thans are going to get shaded in the middle. So my answer is -4 to 1. Again, those dots are, oh wait a minute, I copied it wrong. I'm having a bad awful day. That's greater than 0. So where's that shaded? I'm sorry.
The outside.
That's shaded outside. So the answer is this end, so -infinity to -4, or that end, 1 to infinity. And we'll stop there. And pick up there on Wednesday when we are downstairs in Mrs. Castro's room. We have mass today, after next period, so you're going to second period,